715. Oh, 200. What up, martial artists of the internet? Today we are gonna do another challenge, a challenge that I set myself. It's from one of my favorite animes and TV shows ever. It's from Naruto. And what I'm trying to imitate is a training from Rock Lee. So Rock Lee is a taijutsu practitioner, and taijutsu is basically what we would call martial arts in the real world, because he has no magic abilities, so to speak. He has no hypnotics, he has no genjutsu, no ninjutsu or no senjutsu like Naruto can do. So he is like the average guy, he has no magic abilities, and I'm trying to imitate one of his trainings. So in the series we don't actually see how much he trains, but we see that he does certain exercises a lot. So what he does is push-ups, he does rope skipping, sit-ups, crunches, he does punchings to the heavy bag, and all of this martial arts stuff. So I set myself a goal for push-ups, squats, crunches and rope skipping. And I set myself a target for the push-ups, it's going to be 100. So I'm trying to do 100 push-ups, maybe not just in one set, but it's going to be okay. Then next is the squats. I doubled it, so we have 200 bodyweight squats that I'm gonna do, and then we're going to do 400 crunches. And then in the end, 800 rope skippings. So let's jump right into the workout and let's see how I'm doing. Okay, I thought I'm maybe gonna do sets of maybe 30, if I can do that, I don't know. Let's see. And we're not made from sugar, so we do them here. Starting on the fist, on the bear down. So let's go.
And while you watch me doing all these silly exercises, let me tell you some stories about Naruto the series. Did you know, for example, that Shikamaru's IQ used to be over 200? But in fact, Rock Lee is a real prodigy. As postulated by Kakashi subsequently to Lee's opening of the 5 gates, Lee is a genius. Opening the 5 gates is impossible through hard work alone. Similarly, his sensei Mighty Guy has called Lee talented on numerous records. In fact, Kakashi hints that the gates is a dangerous technique regardless of how talented Lee is, further solidifying that Lee is a real genius. Ultimately, as Mighty Guy has stated, and as chapter 84 is titled, Lee is a genius of hard work. His resolve to continue training no matter the odds is unparalleled and is true talent. The heights Lee achieved makes him a real prodigy of his generation and amongst the Konoha 11.
And by the way, did you know that you can also train with higher rep sets, so push-ups of like 30, 40, 50 reps, and still be in hypertrophy range, because the only thing that really matters is how close you go to failure. So if you go to failure with like 56 push-ups, then you also set a significant stress to the muscle in order to grow. You don't need to just lift weights in the gym to gain muscle. You can also do bodyweight exercises like this. So enough talking, next set. 70. Okay, we're at 70. Let's go for the last. Okay, let's go. Next exercise. Okay, 200 bodyweight squats, let's go.
12 seconds later.
And while you watch me doing all this goofy stuff here, did you know that Rock Lee's injury was inspired by the one sustained by Bruce Lee? So after Rock Lee's battle with Gaara, he was so severely injured that his doctor believed he would have never been able to return to his former life as a shinobi. Through hard, painful work, he was eventually able to recover. This was empirically based on something that happened to Bruce Lee. In 1970, Bruce Lee suffered a back injury that damaged his sacral nerve. This happened during a training session, though many people erroneously believed that it happened during a fight. Lee was told that he had to give up his martial arts career, but he was able to recover and continue his career.
Ooh, 200 was maybe a little bit too much. Let's go. Whew. Feeling a little burning in my legs. Oh, 200, okay. Whew. Oh. Let's go to the next exercise. Whew. Okay, next up, 400 sit-ups, 400 crunches, whatever you want to call them. Whew. Let's go, let's go, make it keep going.
Something that puzzled me when I watched Naruto the first time is how are Lee's abilities so unique amongst the Konoha 11. So Rock Lee has an interesting trait when it comes to being a ninja. He doesn't have the chakra and the inherent ability necessary to become a ninja. Unlike all of his classmates and teammates, Lee can't use ninjutsu or genjutsu skills. Anything that requires the necessary magical touch for a special skill isn't something he can do. Instead, Lee spends his entire life training in taijutsu, which is essentially hand-to-hand combat, like we would say in the real world, martial arts. Most of the times, not that all bullshit martial arts with no touch-out techniques and the magical chi powers, like I did a video you can watch here, but coming back to Lee. So Lee's muscle memory is so impressive that he can even fight while completely asleep and with an alcohol tolerance so low that one drop inebriates him. He's a mastery of the drunken fist technique like also Jackie Chan was.
Okay, last exercise now, rope skipping. It's a great cardio exercise. A lot of boxers do them, a lot of martial arts people do them. That's why I hate it. That's why I never do it. So a perfect goal now is 800 rope skip. Let's see if I can do that still. I used to do, I think, 1,000 for an exam I did when I worked in the security business. But well, that's a couple of years ago, and let's see. Bruh. Starting good.
Guy Sensei's protege dropping his weights in the Chunin exam is one of the most iconic moments in Naruto history. But why does Rock Lee wear weights? Rock Lee removes his weights for the first and the only time during his fight against Gaara. Not even in the 4th Shinobi World War he removes them. The Chunin exams were well underway and the quick decision was made that a one-on-one fight needed to be conducted. Too many students passed the previous exam and a few needed to be weeded out before moving on the rest of the exam. After round 1 or 2, Lee ended up against Gaara. It became obvious that Gaara's sand defense was impenetrable at least normal speed, and he'd need to drop the weights hidden under his leg warmer. The crowd's disbelief at Lee's weights turned to shock when they fell on the ground, crashing into bellows of smoke from the impact of tons and tons of pounds. Guy Sensei explains to the onlookers the logic behind Lee using his weights.
現実が使えない。だからこそ、体術のために時間を費やし、体術はできぬとも。あいつは誰にも負けない。体術の。
So Rock Lee likes to wear weights because it increases his fighting speed once they are removed. The resistance of the weights prime his body into switching to something lighter, helps him to move faster eventually.
That's more exhausting for the arms than for the legs or for the lung, I think. Let's go to Burger King. So I totally forgot to film an outro, but here it is now. But please don't go, stop. I have another video that you should check out now, because when you wonder how it looks like when you train like Uncle Iroh, who was imprisoned by the Fire Nation, then you should watch this video next year and leave a comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's see you in the next video.